Hey everyone, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. If you're new, hey, this is a new video, a different video, I should say, and my name is Sammy. So as you can see, we are in a different spot for once. We are in the living room. This is going to be a video of my story. I wanted to come out again. It's been over a year, I think, since I've done something like this, which is just basically share who I am, how I got here. I feel like I have a lot of new people in our community that may not know much about me. Maybe they don't have Instagram or whatever it may be. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to just like take a pause on DIYs and just share more of my background and all of that jazz. So I'm not gonna like edit this. I'm gonna try not to edit this. I just want this to be super casual. So get your wine, get your coffee, get your tea, water, whatever it is. Get on some comfy clothes and just kick back or play this in the background while you are crafting if this is something that you're interested in. So let's start off. My name is Sammy. My name is Sammy Lottie Louise Lynn Lee Veltri. That is a mouthful, but that is my God-given name. It is not Samantha. It is just Sammy. I was born and raised in Downey, California. Both my parents are still married today. I have one brother, Michael. He is still in California with his family. I feel like I'm gonna say a lot, so I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, so that's just like my growing up was in Downey, California. John and I met in California. Gosh, geez Louise, when was it? We've only been together, I think, 8 years now. So we met at Taco Surf, which is a bar in Seaside, Seal Beach area, I guess, for my California people. We met at Taco Surf. My brother and him knew each other, went to school. So I was introduced to John by my brother. And yeah, we just hit it off right away. He said, I love you after like 20 days. Okay, but I totally set it back. So, and the rest is really history. We decided to have a baby, which was Everly, and we shortly had Everett after. When we found out we were pregnant with Everett was when we started thinking more about the future and where we currently were and where we wanted to be. So we were living at the time in Long Beach, California. We were living in like a 700 square foot apartment, paying $14.50 a month. And we didn't have a backyard, a front yard. Parking was atrocious. And his brother had moved to Kansas quite a while ago. So we were like, you know what? Let's go visit him, you know, every season this year and see what we think about it, if we like it. So we went out every season while I was pregnant with Everett. And we were like, you know what? We're going to do it. We're crazy like that. We are like, we are the craziest people when it comes to making decisions, let me tell you. But when Everett was a month old, we packed all of our stuff and we moved here to Kansas. And so we've been in Kansas for the past, Everett's going to be 6 in July, so almost 6 years now. And it was very, very hard on, I always like start tearing up. It was very hard on us. I think a lot of it was things that we just, you know, you don't plan for. Like we're very spontaneous, and like once we have an idea and we get it in our head, we just kind of like go for it. And it was very lonely. I was staying home with the kids. John was working, and I had Everly, which was young. Everly and Everett are only 15 months apart. So I had 2 young children, and I didn't have any family support whatsoever. Both of our parents live in California. He has a brother and his family that live in California, and I have a brother and his family that live in California. So we were really just on our own. And that meant no help with the babies. That meant no babysitters. Like I think a lot of us take for granted that feeling of having like your parents that live, 15 minutes away from you and things like that. Like I got to have that for a little bit with Everly, but then being by myself with two, and not by myself, John was there. I'm just saying like, well, he's at work or something. It wasn't like I could just like drop the kids off and have a break, or that like John and I could just easily go on a date night. Like it was just lonely and it was hard. And it took a very long time for both of us to get like past the feeling of, just not having your family and not having that support out here like you used to, especially because we are so close with our families. Like my mom and my dad are like my best friends. His mom and dad are like my best friends. Like they are amazing. I definitely married into like, I got super lucky. But so we moved out here, and there was a lot of things that we didn't factor in financially when we moved to Kansas. When we were in California, I was a store manager. That was my career, and I had done that for so many years. Well, I had worked at the time for Wet Seal Incorporated. And for those of you that know what Wet Seal is, they went under. So I got laid off when I was 6 months pregnant with Everly. And I was fortunate because I was able to collect that unemployment, and then I got on disability. Then I was able to get on unemployment again, and then we got pregnant with Everett, and then I was able to get on disability again. So there was like that income, that I had staying home with the kids with Everly while I was pregnant, while John was working. So when we moved to Kansas and I was staying home with the kids and he was working, well, I wasn't getting unemployment. I wasn't getting disability. That was a whole chunk of income that we like, it didn't even cross our mind. It didn't even cross our mind. We never factored it in, nothing. So needless to say, like right when we got here, things were tough. We just didn't know how, like, we would pay the bills. We were scrounging around for like grocery money. We were lucky enough to have somebody that we rented a home from for a very good price. So that helped a little bit. But yeah, so then what do people do when they're desperate? They open credit cards. And at the time, John had really bad credit. I had amazing credit. So I was just opening up credit cards left and right. And these credit cards, y'all, had high balances, and it was just, we were, I don't want to say do like what we could to survive or anything like that, but like we just weren't making the right choices. We weren't making the right choices, and we used these credit cards for things. And I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this can relate that, like, sometimes you don't have enough money out of like your just normal paycheck to go out and buy groceries. Like you can't. And if you are buying and pinching every little penny that you can. And it got to the point where we were buying groceries with a credit card. We were getting gas with a credit card. We were putting so much and relying so much on these credit cards. And then we got to a point where we were just like, F it at this point. Like it came to that point where we just like didn't care, because we were already, I felt like so deep in the hole, and life and everything was just so frustrating at that time. You know, we kept on asking, like, when's it going to be our turn? Like, when do we get success? When do we get to take it easy? When do we get, you know, and so many people ask that question all the time, you know, like I just saw somebody on Facebook the other day, a gal saying like, I just want to know, when's it my turn? And don't cry, Sammy. And there were many times when I asked myself that, when I cried about it, and John had those same thoughts and stuff. And yeah, so we got into a bunch of debt, needless to say. And then John left his job. It was a toxic job. He left his job, and it was maybe like 2 weeks that he wasn't working. But that 2 weeks, and up to this point, we had stayed on time with our credit card payments. We were, you know, like we were staying on top of it. I mean, we were using them to excess, but I was still making the minimum payments on them to, you know, protect like the credit and all of that stuff. But then just in that 2 weeks that he wasn't working, we just couldn't keep up. We couldn't keep up at all. And that's when it like just went south really fast. And I was like, I don't know what to do at this point. Like, I don't want to ruin my credit. He was finally building up his credit. And at the time, it felt like that's all we had, you know, like were these credit cards to pay for things or to have a life or to do all of these things. Luckily, I have a friend, Jessica, that I met out here in Kansas. And that was another thing that like Kansas, how I said it was lonely and stuff. I did create a mom's group out here, and it ended up blowing up. And that's how I met my two best friends out here, Jessica and Erin. They've been in my wedding, like bachelorette parties, like everything. But anyway, Jessica used to work for a bankruptcy lawyer. So she was like, at least talk to her, like see what your options are, what you guys can do. So I ended up claiming bankruptcy at, gosh, how old was I? How do I say how old? I'm 35. So 33, it was a little over 2 years ago. I claimed bankruptcy by myself because remember I said John didn't have credit coming into moving to Kansas. I had all the credit, so all the debt was under my name, which actually ended up being a blessing in disguise that only one of us claimed instead of both of us. So I claimed bankruptcy, and all the debt, luckily, was taken away. You have to go, and don't think like bankruptcy is like easy. You have to pay the bankruptcy lawyer. You have to go to court dates. You know, there's a lot of things that like go into it. So I don't want you to think like it's just an easy way out, because there are steps. You do have to pay a lawyer. But luckily I was able to keep, my car and my name on my car, which that's a dishwasher, which was amazing. And I'm very blessed because that's helped me, you know, build some credit back up. But, and then John, he wasn't affected by it. So we got to keep his credit going. So while all this is happening, we were also having a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol, and that affected everything. I think John and I are so strong together, but when we moved out here, I think that it just, I don't know, shook us a little because everything was turned upside down. We didn't have family to go to. We didn't have like, he didn't have like his mom or dad's house to go to like after work and just like chat. I didn't have my mom to go to when, you know, like I was feeling like the world was on my shoulders. Like it was all just on us. And it became really hard. And I feel like we just kind of let things go. Like we were just, I keep saying like, F it. And that's so sad to say when you have like two beautiful children that are healthy and you have a roof over your head. And, you know, you forget all about those things though when you're just in a bad place. And yeah, we started a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol, and we were drinking at home all the time. We would go out and we would drink, or if we did happen to get a babysitter, we would go to a bar with friends and just get hammered. And it really affected our relationship and our lives. And it got even worse when I finally made the decision after the bankruptcy. We were like, okay, I was like, I have to work. So luckily I found a job close to home, but it was serving and bartending. And I was working when John and I were like two ships sailing in the wind, just passing each other by at night. He would come home at night and I would be leaving to go to work. So we'd kiss, we'd say our goodbyes, and that was it. So we didn't even see each other. I would have to work weekends. Sometimes I'd have to work super late nights if I was bartending. And I feel like at that point, the relationship with alcohol got even worse. Like he was at home and didn't have any kind of support from me anytime I was home, you know, and if he wanted to do something or just even just us together at home, that's what we turned to for entertainment or communication. It was like the only way we could talk to each other. And it was bad. It was bad for a while. And then COVID hit. Are you allowed to say that on YouTube? I don't know. So the big C word hit, and needless to say, I was laid off because I was working at a restaurant. And I feel like our whole lives, I mean, the C word affected everybody, like so many people, so differently. And my heart goes out to the people that have been negatively affected by it and the family members that they have lost. So my heart goes out to you. For us, I just don't know if I'm allowed to say it. And I don't mean it like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying. This pandemic, I'll say, just really turned our worlds around for the better, because I was now laid off and at home. And then we really had to confront our issues with alcohol, because there was no hiding with it anymore. Like I wasn't, you know, going to work. We were with each other all the time. Luckily, was he working? I think. Yeah, he was working for the union. So he was a necessary worker. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. But so he was still working and stuff. And then I was home with the kids, of course. And it really just helped us. And it could have gone totally south, like with us being home with each other all the time and stuff. But it made us really confront what was going on with our relationship, our home life, the drinking, the money, like just everything. It was like the biggest enlightening like period for us. And it's so weird to say that, but like John, I don't want to say John is completely sober now. He has not touched alcohol for over 2 years. And then I will have like a drink like if I'm out with the girlfriends, I will have like one cocktail or something like that. So I can't say I'm sober like John is. But John has not touched a drop of alcohol in over 2 years. And then I will casually have a drink with a friend, or, you know, even at home, I'll casually have a drink as well. But it's like maybe once every 2 weeks or whatever. I don't have to defend myself. But so after we stopped that horrible relationship we had with alcohol, it just opened our eyes to so many other things. So once we became sober, because I didn't drink for a long time after that as well with John. And in that period, it was like, you know, you weren't waking up hungover. You weren't spending your nights up until 4 a.m. or whatever it may be. And then all of a sudden there's like this new sense of energy and like hope and motivation. And that's when YouTube started for me. And it was, I didn't even know what YouTube was like for the longest time until I started like going on my elliptical, and then I would like be like, oh, what is there to watch? And that's when I kind of started going on YouTube and stuff. Well, I had started, like I was doing like my wood signs and everything. Then I started dabbling into like the Dollar Tree crafts. And then I really started getting addicted to like Dollar Tree. And John and I talked about it, and I was like, I'm home right now anyways. Like, should I do this? Like, do I not do this? Like, I'm going to have to go back to work, and can I do both of these things at the same time? And, you know, he really was like my supporter and said like, no, you should definitely do this. I mean, why not? Give it a try. And I think my first video on this channel is just me talking about vinyl cutting mats. I think that's it. And then I did like a haul video for Dollar Tree. And then I think like my next one was like a watermelon DIY. And I think it was literally one DIY and the video was like 25 minutes long. But anyways, so during the pandemic and being laid off, that was my opportunity to like go for it and try it out. And needless to say, I jumped in it full force. I am definitely that type. Y'all know if you've watched my channel, like with my website and, you know, this endeavor and that endeavor, I definitely just jump in, you know, I dive in. I'll do a crazy dive from the diving board and I go for it. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had never edited a video. I had never filmed before. I mean, I seriously thought that you had to have all of these like crazy tech cameras and I mean, just like all this stuff. And then I found a woman on YouTube. I just happened to come across her channel. Well, you know, our phones listen to us, so that's probably why she came across me. But she was saying how she started her YouTube channel with her phone. And I was like, well, if she's doing it from her phone, I could definitely do that. I have a phone. And I know how to use the phone. So I can definitely do that. Then it was like editing. I have no idea how to edit. So of course, like most of us, I YouTubed, you know, how to edit on your iPhone or whatever. And I found a gal that it's called Video Shop app. And so I watched her video and I just kind of like edited mine along with her. And then I started learning, and I've learned more and more and more since I've started. But with that, you know, I started going hard with YouTube. I joined every challenge. I, reached out to other creators, and I knew once I started and once I really dove into the community that this was something I was going to love to do. And all at the same time, I'm thinking I'm terrified because I'm going to have to go back to work, right? I'm going to have to go back to work. I can't do this full time for a career. And then, like, how do you do both? And there's a lot of YouTube creators, like Crafted by Corey, for one. She works full time and then she does her channel, and it's very successful. And I'm over here and I was tripping out. Well, my channel ended up blowing up by chance because of a wood round video. And at that time, wood signs was what I knew. And I was just like, I was thinking like, what can I put on my bit? What can I put on here? I was like, you know what? I know how to do wood rounds very well. Let me make that a video, Had no idea it would blow up like it did. And it was really early on in my YouTube career that this happened. And I am so blessed and fortunate for that video. Because who knows where I would be now. I am a YouTuber. I haven't even been on for 2 years that has had an amazing success with growth. And I know that I owe it to, a couple of videos, and obviously you guys in the community that decide to click on my videos and, stick around. But because of that video, because I blew up so fast that when people were, starting to get calls to go back to work, I had been making enough money. I mean, not exactly the amount of money I was, but close enough to the amount of money that I was making serving and bartending to be able to stay home instead of going back to work, which was also a blessing, because if you are a server or a bartender, it still isn't the same today, really. And I wouldn't have been probably making much at all. So I ended up being able to make it a full-time career. And with that and sobriety and John and I coming together, and from the support of some friends here in Kansas, we were able then to buy our own home, which is what we're in today. And so we have a friend that helped us, through our loan process. I have a girlfriend that is a realtor that helped us find our home, and they both had been so amazing walking us through the process. Now, where I said in the beginning, the whole bankruptcy thing and me claiming sorry, I keep playing with my hair. I never have it down. Me claiming it by myself, John had been able to build his credit up so much at that point that he was able to get a loan by himself for the home we are in now. So I have nothing to do with our loan on this house currently, because it had not been 2 years since my bankruptcy, and you are not allowed to be on any kind of home loan until after 2 years of you claiming bankruptcy. So I was not allowed to be on it. So it fell under John, and we were able to buy a home. And it is the most rewarding thing ever. Like, this whole process, like even talking about it and like talking through like the steps and kind of like what we had to go through and what we struggled with just as individuals and like a couple and a family. And now we're in such a good place in our life and a happy place in our life that trying not to cry. I just think that like there are so many people out there that struggle just like we did. There are so many people that like ask themselves, try not to cry. Like, when is it gonna be my turn? I need to take a picture after this, so I'm trying really hard not to cry. Okay. And I'm pregnant, so it doesn't really help. But there are a lot of people that sit there, you know, just like I did on a daily basis, thinking like, I'm a good person. Like, I do all of these, you know, kind things for other people. Like, I'm smart. Like, I have something to offer. I just have so much, and I'm just like, when is it going to be my turn? When do I stop having to go through all of the BS and just be happy and comfortable? And, you know, like, I know there's a lot of people out there asking themselves that, and it doesn't matter what age you are, you can turn it around. You have the ability to make those decisions to make your life better. It might not happen quickly. It might take some time, but if you consciously are like, this needs to change, like, and I don't, gosh, that's where it gets crazy. Cause it's like, yeah, of course, there's a lot of us that are like, I want this to change. But it was making those big changes, like saying goodbye to our relationship with alcohol, making the decision to claim bankruptcy, even though that was so very scary, you know, making the decision to move to Kansas, which, you know, for the longest time in that dark period, I was like, why are we here? We don't have any support. We don't have family. Like, you know, and then now all of those things, all of those trials we had to go through led us to where we are now. We have a beautiful home that I never thought in a million years we would have. Like I never thought that this would happen for us. We have two amazingly healthy and beautiful and smart children who love and adore us, and we feel the same exact way, and we have another one on the way. You know, I get to call YouTube my career. I mean, I was serving and bartending and working nights and weekends and holidays, and I never thought that I would be doing something I love so much, or meeting such extraordinary people that I've met along the way, you know, whether that be creators or subscribers or whatever. And yeah, we wouldn't be here if we didn't go through all of those things, if we didn't have each other. Like John and I am so lucky to call that man my husband. I am so very blessed. We have gone through some hard times, but we stuck it out. We are so in love, and we knew no matter what we went through, that was the one common thing that would never change, was that we loved each other. And that was enough for us at the time. And it was enough to, okay, sorry, my phone turned off, but that was good because yeah, girl, it's gonna cry and we don't need that. So I was just touching on John and I, and that our common thing was that we were in love, and we knew that that was enough to take us through all of those trials and bring us to where we are now. And yeah, I'm so happy. He's so happy. Moving out to Kansas was really hard at first, but now that we're in this good place, the mindset and everything has completely changed. Instead of it being like so bad that, you know, we're away from family, we're thankful for the family that we have. We're thankful that, you know, we have two beautiful children and one on the way to share our lives with. We're happy we have these three crazy dogs and Hank, even though he's messy. But like now we can't wait to grow and, you know, build a life out here and for our children. And, you know, like our crazy dream is that one day we will own a Christmas tree farm. So our end goal after like the kids are grown and stuff like that, we want to move out somewhere with a bunch of land and we want to grow a Christmas tree farm. That's our goal. So I thought that I would just do this video just for those of you that don't know who I am or where I come from or, you know, what I represent. I feel like it's important for you guys to connect with me. Just like when I read all of your comments, I connect with you guys and feel like I know you on a personal level because you guys do share so much with me. And I feel honored that you do that. And yeah, like every ounce of me that you get in my videos, like my voiceovers, things like that, that's like authentically, unapologetically me. Like I always, well, first off, I didn't know how to add music to my videos. So that's why I started with like talking the entire video because I didn't know how to add music to it. And then people started saying, I like hearing you talk versus the music. So I just kept it that way. And when I talk, the silly things I say, or just, you know, my jargon and things like that, that's just who I am as a person. I am not trying to be, you know, Martha Stewart. I am not trying to be the next, you know, this or that. Like, I just want to be me, authentically, a crazy mom, you know, with dogs barking in the background, a messy house. Like, I will never sugarcoat anything. Like, this is real life. Our house is messy. My sink is full. My laundry hasn't been done in weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who I am. This is who my family is. And, you know, I just hope if you're somebody that's out there that is going through are going through these trials, that it doesn't always have to be this way. And one day it will be your turn and you can be happy and you can be successful and you can have a good relationship. All of those things can come, and it doesn't matter what age you are. I'm 35 years old and I am just now like finding out who I am and like, you know, my purpose. And it's okay that it took me this long, you know, and I'm sure it's going to change and I'm still going to grow, but I got here, and every step that I've taken and we've taken together has brought us so much closer, so much happier. And I am truly, I could say, like, I am truly so happy in my skin, in my home, in my relationship. And that feels so good to say. And again, you can be there too. And if you are there, then you know how it feels. And yeah, so I hope this video kind of, you know, enlightened you and maybe made you feel more connected to me and my family. Hopefully it doesn't scare anybody away, but this is who I am. This is who our family is. And I truly, truly appreciate my community so very much for sticking it out with me as I have grown, as our family has grown. There are so many of you now that like pop up on every premiere, on every video and comments. And I feel so connected to you guys, and I truly wouldn't be in this place in my career if it wasn't for you guys and your support. Because I mean, more than you guys will ever know, like, yes, we have family, we have some friends, but like, you guys are the ones that are watching my videos. I don't think like my brother's ever watched any of my videos. I don't think like my mom and dad watch every video, or my mother, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are the ones that like are watching my videos, supporting me. Like when you guys go on my Amazon lives, like seeing all those familiar names pop up and give me that support that I need to feel confident is more than you will ever know. So thank you so much for allowing me to do this and to share my passion for crafting with you, my family with you, because I mean, it helped me get where I wanted to be in life, and I really couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you. I think that was the win. Just thank you guys so much for being here and watching this video. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. I should be back on Saturday with a DIY video. And just, you guys, FYI, I'm pregnant. Some days are good and some days are bad. And I might not be able to get out 2 videos a week, but I know you guys will understand that, and I will let you guys know in advance. But anyways, let's not get sidetracked. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here and spending your time with me. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys back here on Saturday. Bye.